At the stop sign, turn right onto Winfield Dunn Parkway. In 8.3 miles, turn right onto Parkway.
Good morning, everyone. Daily Life in the Smokies, Smoky Mountain back roads here. We're going to be driving into Pigeon Forge this morning. It's a beautiful sunny morning, as you can tell. The sun beaming bright in the car window. Going to be a high of 74, 75 degrees today. I think we're going to take off and do the Christmas walk tonight along the Pigeon River down there. See the Christmas lights. It's going to be a nice warm evening. But yeah, good morning, everyone. We'll be driving into Pigeon Forge this morning. See those mountains way up there? Seem a little taller today than usual. Maybe because the sky is so beautiful.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Green, November 15th, 2023, the American empire has officially collapsed. Exemplified by the Chinese communist dictator arriving from the CCP, who suppresses human life like the Uyghurs and others, an arguable, total, absolute tyrannical dictatorship, is being hosted in what many think is turning into a communist state itself, California, with more Chinese flags on the streets cheering the communist dictator than there are American flags. Many Americans calling this an absolute disgusting display of where I guess America's priorities truly are. You can see Xi Jinping just board his plane, meeting with Governor Newsom there and other officials. Looks like appears to be Janet Yellen, as they attempt, which I believe that this has already happened, integrate the United States into this new order. See, I've seen for some time that this has already happened. It's not that America is defending itself. It's already been sold out to China years ago through the exportation of jobs, wealth, power, and then of course selling itself out like a $2 you-know-what to the Chinese, which once owned all of our bonds, but now are selling them. Because nobody trusts the United States anymore. This is the same reason why our previous ally, Saudi Arabia, and other Arab nation states are also diverting from the American empire as we see the Middle East now erupt in World War III. I'm going to get to all this and a whole lot more. I'm going to get into the economics. We're going to get into crypto. That's pumping today. Please like and share this video. And as always, Jesus Christ is King. It is an honor to serve you. So here we have Xi, the communist dictator, meeting with Joe Biden amid a fracturing world order, they say. Well, this reminds me, kind of like when world leaders got together before the outbreak of World War II and declared peace. In fact, this was famously done by Neville Chamberlain, who declared peace right before Germany continued the war and we erupted into World War II. Kind of like what's happening now. And what's also interesting about this is we have our American oligarchs and billionaires meeting and kowtowing to these communists. I mean, think about this for a minute. America is not supposed to be a communist dictatorship, is it? Like a high police state of mass surveillance and suppression like we saw with the lockdowns. Is it? Or maybe it is. And it's interesting to see these billionaires with all their money and power and clout kowtow and bow and beg on their knees to do business, to have the honor to do business with Xi Jinping, the communist. It's really, really telling where America stands politically right now. Also, in addition to Elon Musk, Jane Fraser is also sucking the toes of Xi Jinping. For those of you that don't know who she is the chief executive officer of Citi, the big bank, the too big to fail bank that's currently firing about 10% of its employees and staff. Its stock is just in the absolute toilet bowl right now, gutter. Has collapsed since 2008 after the $1 trillion bailouts and is sinking to zero incredibly. Obviously, it was easy to predict. So you've got the banking cartel there, you've got Janet Yellen, you've got Elon Musk, and you also have Jane Fraser sucking Xi Jinping's big, fat, dirty communist dictatorship toe. It really is disgusting. Newsweek even reports, says video of Chinese flags filling San Francisco street sparks backlash. Yeah, that's because San Francisco's a dump. If you go to San Francisco, there's a bunch of homeless people pooping on the sidewalk, injecting themselves with drugs, and they need help. I pray for these individuals. They need help. They're drug addicted, right? But you have total trash heaps, total disgusting mayhem. In addition to that, a crumbling infrastructure. And they don't clean it up at all for the American population or help those homeless people or anything like that. But when communist dictator Xi Jinping comes into town, they suck his big fat toe and they clean it up and they make it look nice and pretty. Governor Newsom even said, yeah, that's why they were doing it, for the dictator. They are also looking, the Democrats, as my grandfather used to call him, my late grandfather, God rest your soul, love you, know you're still with me, used to say, I believe are basically positioning Governor Newsom as a potential candidate for the race in 2024. Because we know Sleepy Joe is a total geriatric fool. He's not going to survive into another term. And they're also playing with the idea, which I still think is the front runner, Michelle Obama next. Because again, this is a tyrannical, oligarchical system here in the United States where you get the same families over and over. Trump was a wild card. That was what was interesting about him. So, as we're in World War III, I want to talk about some of the predictive programming as well. I was watching a movie yesterday, Mission Impossible, with Tom Cruise, Dead Reckoning. It's the latest here, produced in 2023. It's quite interesting because it predictively programs for the technological World War III event. So the theme is they're fighting a rogue AI that the Russians have locked down in a submarine that crashed called Sevastopol, right? Like what's currently going on in Ukraine. And whoever has this technology of this rogue AI will have control and unlock the key to the new world. And the key actually unlocks all kinds of stuff like power, the military-industrial complex, the full force of it. They play with themes and ideas of blockchain technology being unlocked. I'm just pointing this out because this is one of the reasons and how I knew about Bitcoin and all this stuff very, very early is because I'm just proving the point you're being conditioned for the takeover. And all roads lead to the technological takeover. All roads lead to Rome. That's why blockchain is pumping. That's why Bitcoin is sailing to new all-time highs. That's why Solana just tripled. That's why Ethereum has been pumping. XRP, which just had legal clarity, Jesus coin on the move today. We'll talk about that in a minute. But my point is, World War III and the Great Reset isn't necessarily what you think it's going to be. You see, the elites are just transferring power to themselves with a key, turning it and unlocking the new system, and it's all going to be technological, it's going to be digital, and it's going to be blockchain focused. See, they don't even have to crash the old system. They can just hyperinflate us into the new one. They don't even need to drop a nuke, and I've said this for years, there's no reason for them to even drop a nuke, although I still think we'll get a tactical one to spread fear and control among our, useless sheep population. I still think they'll do that. It'll likely, God forbid, be in Europe, which I predict. But they don't need to do that. And the reason why they don't need to do that is they already have control of all of America's infrastructure because it's all online. It's all on the cloud. Everyone's already being surveilled. Everyone's already highly controlled. This is why the tyrant, Nikki Haley, doesn't want you to have free speech online and wants every American's forcefully tracked and exposed, even though free speech protects anonymous speech, if you look at the Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution. Because these tyrants, these toe-sucking communists, okay, that want war, that want global war in Israel, want global war in the Middle East, that suck the toes of Xi Jinping, they want the American population and they want this country in the gutter. And they're going to do whatever they can to take, the spear, so to speak, to keep it clean and drive it straight into the necks of what once was freedom and liberty in this country. Now, we'll get to crypto here in a minute, but we're seeing, this is a cool video, it just shows what would happen in the effect of nuclear war, and how basically every side will just fire at each other at once and destroy everything. But again, they don't need to do this. In fact, I'm even seeing mainstream media hosts, once Fox News, always Fox News, Tucker Carlson say this in an interview. It's interesting, they're saying the same things I've been saying for 20 years now. Finally, they've gone rogue after making millions of dollars with Fox News. They're the independent media now, guys. Yeah, but he makes a good point. And I like Tucker Carlson and some of the things he's doing. But he's making the same point I have made for years. They don't need to drop a nuke. The nuke is the tech. The nuke is an EMP. The nuke is a cyber event. And that's exactly what's coming next. And it'll all tie into the regulatory moves and the new system that they're building while the American people sleep and they're conned out of getting rich, and you're not getting Bitcoin rich, and you're not getting crypto rich, and you should click the link below and join me at my school while you still can at islandprojectclub.com and get into islandproject.com, our world-class fund and real estate investment opportunity that's being tokenized at 1000x while you still can. They don't even need to do that because they're already in full control, just like we see in Mission Impossible, because that's really what's going on right now. Let's quickly talk crypto here for a minute. Bitcoin is up 5-6%. Just actually today, it's up 7% today over the last 24 hours, pumping even while I'm on camera, about to hit 38K. Ethereum is pumping, Solana just tripled. Let's take a look at this too and look at the Bitcoin year-to-date performance. Of course, since I threw chairs in the pool in December of last year at 16K, I think you'd be up like 230, 250% maybe already, 225%, if I'm correct on that. Since my recommendation, and yeah, you're up 126% year to date. Number one investment in the world. Many of you, I'm sure, are still missing it because you've been conned. You've been conned by the media. You've been conned by Warren Buffett. You've been conned by Jamie Dimon. You've been conned by all these people because they don't want you rich. These are deep state insider toe-sucking communists, and they don't believe in capitalism, and they don't believe in true wealth for the American people. I've always wanted you Bitcoin rich. So the stock market is also on its last legs. Let's talk about this. This is the biggest pump and dump in world history. The elites are now going to pump and dump on your face. This is short covering. They're going to collapse the U.S. stock market to zero, folks. You're going to have many corporations go to zero, just like Citi, just like WeWork just collapsed to zero, wiped out all of its shareholders, just like we saw Washington Mutual collapse to zero, Silicon Valley Bank recently collapsed to zero. All these banks are going to zero. But they're going to insert the key and turn us into the new digital dollar reset. You understand this, right? It's not the collapse or the 1929 or the Great Depression of your parents' generation. It's a technological reset. But I find it interesting that Michael Burry of The Big Short, very famous, is now shorting high-flying semiconductor stocks like an NVIDIA, which have done really well recently. Why do you think he's doing that? Why do you think The Big Short here is shorting semiconductor stocks? Well, he's expecting, like I've been expecting, the invasion of Taiwan, which is going to happen very soon. So I want you to keep in mind, now that all of our government officials are sucking the big, fat, dirty, infected toe of Xi Jinping and kowtowing him, along with Elon Musk and all these other figures, proving they're not pro-Americana at all. They're pro-communist and China. That was one thing Trump was right about. While this is going on and they're declaring peace, like Neville Chamberlain, we're about to break out into World War III with China. I mean, seriously, guys, but I actually think the United States already is China. You know what I mean about that. Here's Neville Chamberlain saying, I believe in peace. I think it's time for peace right before the outbreak of World War II. Good job there, douchebag. That was the best word I could think of. It's interesting. I found one of my books that I had written about 5 years ago, Bitcoin Rich, How to Invest in the Future of Money. I'll probably put this out as well, but man, if you would have read this book 5 years ago and invested in Bitcoin, you're rich now. Congratulations. Seriously, you're welcome. I wrote this book, 5 years ago, I think, Bitcoin Rich, The Future of Money, How to Invest in the Future of Money. There's an introduction, talks about sovereignty of money, media censorship before they really started censoring anything, job security, what is money, pitfalls and roadblock. There's a whole chapter on transhumanism and Bitcoin, the conclusion, and then my final statement on origins, risks, and threats. Again, I'm just pointing it out. I've been telling you guys about this stuff forever. You'd be rich now if you listen to me. And you should listen to me now. This is exactly why you should get into islandproject.com. And in fact, all you have to do is fill this membership tab form right here. Fill it out, 5-minute form, fund. Just fill the form out. I'll send you the book for free. I'll even create that value for you because it's still early for Bitcoin. I predicted in December of last year that we'd be screaming at new all-time highs and that we're going to go to 100K, but new all-time highs in 2023. It appears that's happening now. Wow, got another one right. It's so surprising, isn't it? So again, this great reset, you will eat the bugs and you will have these crickets on a barbecue, right? That's just kind of part of the propaganda. Again, it's not the collapse of your parents' generation. This is a technological pre-programmed collapse where the United States sinks into a lower tier country and really becomes commified. So I've just come up with that word. We'll call it a malaprop. So basically we're becoming the commified commies here in the United States, which is what global leadership want. They can't have the United States and all of its freedom and security and peace and safety and prosperity. And they can't have little people creating wealth for themselves when they want to introduce a massive control grid of total surveillance and all the horrors of histories that could only be described as 1984. Well, they need to collapse it, which is what they're doing with it like dominoes. And this is why the United States handled that thing and topic we're not allowed to talk about the same way China did. It was no different here in the United States than China, where it was very, very close, because we are China. And this is what the American population needs to understand. Solana's pumping, tripled. You're welcome. Tripled their money amid an altcoin rally
At the next
surge.
light,
There's
turn
positions
right.
in my portfolio right now at 50%. You're welcome. Congratulations again. You're rich now. Yeah, I guess we just keep getting this right over and over again. Praise God. I'm not giving myself too much credit. I mean, he's told me all this, but I'm proving a point. Facts are facts. Facts are facts. For those of you that said Bitcoin's going to zero, you can't make money, you're wrong, and you're looking like an idiot right now. You should be buying right now. There's still time, but not much time left. Solana has tripled, like just in the last week. Absolutely incredible. Congratulations to all my members. IslandProjectClub.com.
At the
So,
light,
I don't
turn
really
right
think
onto
that there's going to be
Parkway.
like global nuclear war. I do think a nuke will be dropped. But that's just for social conditioning and control. The nuke is this new technology. The nuke is the reset. The nuke is
In
the
1.6
financial system.
miles, turn
Right?
left
They're
onto Collier
extending the
Drive.
continuing resolution deadline for the debt that now will only go to January if confirmed by the Senate. America's broke. The nuke is the new digital currency. The nuke is the fraudsters like Jim Cramer. gets everything wrong. In fact, this is really concerning. This is breaking news, folks. Jim Cramer, who's an inverse Jim Cramer, you just do the exact opposite, who said Bitcoin was like going to zero like 2 weeks ago and now it's pumping again, says that Powell has achieved a soft landing and that might not have to hike interest rates anymore. Uh-oh. That means we're about to collapse to zero. So inverse Jim Cramer on that. Here he is. Game over, folks. Says that Powell has achieved a soft landing. So I can almost guarantee stocks will collapse now, right? I didn't even know this. Wow, this guy gets everything wrong. Remember when he told you to buy Bear Stearns right before it collapsed to zero in 2008-09? Yep, Jim Cramer. Inverse Jim Cramer, this bald-headed Goldman Sucky Sachs former employee, who still works for them, by the way. You just don't know it. Works for the three-letter agencies. Also, too, just to show you how far in advance I am and how I'm literally saving lives with islandproject.com. This other scumbag, Yuval Harari, or however you say his name, said something recently about if bad comes to worse and when the flood comes, the scientists will build a Noah's Ark for themselves, only the elite, and they will leave the rest to drown. So he basically invokes or evokes what I've already seen years ago. You see, I'm the Robin Hood. I've created the digital Noah's Ark, just not for the elites and the rich, but for you tuning in. For the average Joe. For just $30K, you can own the best real estate in the world with your 30 units, and you can tokenize it on a blockchain 1000x and potentially become a millionaire. I mean, think about this. You only have to go 30x, and your 30K turns into $1 million. And you own an asset with no bank debt on the beach that you can actually use 25% of the year, that pays you a W-9 in the form of income as we build out the project portfolio. And it's not only that, just super cool, and they're all trophy assets that are beachfront.
At the next light, turn left.
In Maui Booyah or Oahu Booyah. And it's a freedom community with the ethos of liberty while America collapses and sucks the dirty toe of Xi Jinping. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I try to entertain you a little bit too, but I'm just proving the point of how far in advance I have been of all this. I've created the digital Noah's Ark, registered trademark of my companies, to help you guys thrive in this environment, to actually make money, to create wealth, to save turnkey on the blockchain for all of you.
We got about 8 minutes left here on the ride here in Pigeon Forge.
We filed a
Going over
private
to
placement with regulators
Cabin
and
Hill
audit.
Road here,
We have
Cabin
crushed
Hollow.
expectations with an 86% funding rate in a broken
Yeah,
record
it's a
even
beautiful
this
sunny
month.
morning
We're
today.
about to close on our third multi-million-dollar property in just the last year, and we were in
It'll be
a barrel.
75 degrees
Can you
today.
imagine how much money my members are going to make? Again, you are welcome.
Gonna go down to the river walk tonight and make a video down there of the Christmas lights on the river walk.
Now I love you, but I'm telling you,
Or I may go live. I don't know yet which way I'm gonna go yet, but I definitely will get a video out for that.
You know what? I'm going to take a little bit of time off this holiday. You won't go to talk.
I had to make a U-turn
At
here.
the next light, turn right.
Spend some quality time with your people.
Got that Speedway Park here. We turn on Collar Drive here, back here where Fuddruckers is.
At the light, turn right onto Collier Drive.
Yeah, about 8 minutes left on the video anyway.
In 1.1 miles, turn
We just
right onto
drove
Ridge
from
Road.
Kodak down here, Pigeon Forge this morning. I've got another video coming up from yesterday. I was driving around here in Pigeon Forge too yesterday morning. It should be up by tomorrow morning anyway. I'm just editing it right now. But I hope everybody's having a blessed day today. Woke up to a beautiful day. Getting everything ready for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Been kind of busy here. Doing a lot of shopping. Didn't get in last night till about 11:30. I think we hit about 6 stores yesterday evening. Bass Pro was the first one. Hopefully that sun's not blinding you driving into it. Turning on the Ridge Road up here.
Turn right onto Ridge Road.
Can't believe that guy just pulled out in front of me and just locked his brakes up there.
In 1.1 miles, turn. At the next light, turn right.
Should be getting about time for this digging zone to get done up here. I think they got an opening date planned now. I'll have to find out when it is and let you guys know.
At the light, turn right onto Veterans Boulevard.
The sun is really bright this morning.
In 1 mile, turn right onto Centerview Road.
The sky and the mountains look beautiful up there. Yeah, if I stay on this road here, it takes you out to Dollywood and our new resorts out here. And that dig zone's out this way too, but I gotta turn before I get all that. I may go live on another drive today here. I know you guys ain't seen much past week and a half here. But I did pop
Turn
up a
right
couple
onto
videos this
Centerview
morning.
Road.
Early this morning, a couple videos popped up. Doing some more work right this way, it looks like.
In half a mile, turn left onto Ridge Road.
Doing a lot of construction out this way. I've got to drive all the way to Loudon, Tennessee after I get done here.
At the next stop sign, turn left.
So that's going to be kind of a drive for me. If I can keep the service in, I may go live doing that.
At the stop sign, turn left onto Ridge Road. Then turn right onto Cane Hollow Road.
Right.
Turn right onto Cane Hollow Road.
I don't think I've ever been on this road before. Well, I may have been.
In half a mile, turn left.
Yeah, I've been down here. Love these back roads around here off the parkway. Got about 2 minutes left on the video here. But I want to thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you don't care. Leave us a comment where you're from. Looks like I'm gonna have one crazy turn up here. It's like a really sharp turn I'm gonna end up having after this next turn. Oh, this is a narrow little road here.
Turn left.
It's kind of hard to turn left. Got a tree truck here in front of me.
In a quarter mile, the next stop is on your left, 702 Cane Hollow Road.
I don't know how bad this little road is. It's a big bounce, it looks like. Yeah, that's a sharp turn. Ugh. This truck's awful long to be doing this. If I'd known that, I drove my Jeep up here this morning. Or my other big truck. This is this 2-wheel drive here. Shouldn't need it for 4-wheel drive, but if you got loose gravel, you never know. Here comes another sharp turn. Won't be as bad coming down as this going up. All right, let's see how we can do this here without spinning out. Spin out a little bit. All right, let's try this now. Definitely wouldn't like this on a snowy day. Jeep would be fine, not this truck. I want a Fox. Sorry about the bumps, guys. That was an expensive driveway to put in.
The next stop is on your left, 702 King Hollow Road. Arrive.
All right, guys, see you till next time.